Hello, everyone. I'm Kevin Yurianto, and I will be your host today for this webinar. And this webinar is talking about the benefits of aromatherapy in visually impaired patient population. So I started this project for therapeutic regression class in LaGuardia Community College, and I found a lot of important detail that's very interesting that I think everyone should know. So this webinar would be structured as follows. I'll start with description and definition of visual impairment, followed by the area in which patient will be affected, and then we'll discuss about the needs of this particular population, the visually impaired population. And then we'll talk about aromatherapy, what it is and how does it work. And then we'll be talking about how to use aromatherapy in visually impaired patients. And then it'll follow by the setting that I chose for this project, which is adult daycare program. And it'll be closed up with activity analysis of an activity that we basically activity analysis will be the example of one activity in aromatherapy and visually impaired patients. So without further ado, let's start. Visual impairments. So basically visual impairments, the definition is any disruption between your receptors inside your eyes and your visual cortex in your brain, any disruption between those connections that causes miscommunication or disconnect is considered as visual impairment. But there are many causes for visual impairments, such as cataract, where the lens inside your eye turns milky, glaucoma, age-related macular degeneration. That's when your muscle, your eye muscle started to waste away because of age. And then corneal opacification and diabetes. This causes create there are many causes that will create and a lot of type of disruptions and types of disruption or visual impairments such as loss of central vision, loss of peripheral vision where you cannot see the side, not your central vision. Your central vision is the focus vision. This is the blurry vision that you cannot see anymore. And then you have a sensitivity to light or even can't see at night, night blindness. So the most prevalent problem that affecting patients with living with visual impairment is fatigue. They call it the blindness fatigue. So the way the fatigue do or works is basically it's a cycle. So depression causes disturbance of disturbance of sleep cycle created fatigue. Fatigue and depression created social withdrawal. Social withdrawal created a disability to be active. So basically, it's a vicious cycle. We as a medical professional must break this cycle in order to help patient population. So the needs of this type of patient population will be round the clock supervision until adjustment has been made. So the round the clock supervision will be kind of trying to ease them into the transition between having the ability to see to and lose that sense and using other senses to make up for this loss. So let's say somebody that get into an accident and lost their vision, they would have a hard time transitioning into this new world that they will be living in, and they must adjust to whole different type of language because they need to learn how to read braille. They need to adjust their daily living. So it's a tough journey versus people that was born with it, that have acclimated to this all their life. So as I said, adjusting the new senses is gonna be tough. They need to be more able to go out and be active because studies shows that vitamin D reduces depression. So if they are able to move around outside the house and maybe getting the vitamin D from the sun, they'll be less anxious and they will be more active socially. They will they will they will not have a lot of withdrawal or avoidance anymore, and they will get rid of their social anxiety. So aromatherapy is pretty unique because throughout the history we have been using it, dated all the way back to the ancient time. But what we know about aromatherapy and essential oil is originated in 1937 by a French chemist. So the framework of aromatherapy is you heating up the essential oil in a cup or a bowl on top of a candle or a heater, and then those fragrance coming out from the essential oil go inside your nose, hit your receptors over there, your olfactory receptors, and then travel up to your brain, your amygdala, your lizard brain, where it then travels to your mem- uh, long-term memory cortex. So basically, aromatherapy is really, really good for reminiscence or to create a new memory. A lot of people could remember the smell of something before they could remember what it is emitting those smells. So the usage of aromatherapy in visually impaired. Aromatherapy works on your lizard brain or amygdala, and it causes you to relax, kind of decrease that fatigue because of relaxation. And then it could bring people together. You have maybe 10 to 12 people, residents, doing this aromatherapy, and they could talk about what does aromatherapy, what type of memory was invoked by aromatherapy, and could talk about it with other people that's in the group, and that promote social social domain. And then aromatherapy could also drain the body of toxin from the limbic system. So, with that said, we're moving on to daycare program. So, adult daycare program is a very interesting history. It's basically like every other healthcare disciplines or facilities. It's brought up after Florence Nightingale, and basically Florence Nightingale improved the modern standard of medicine. With that, a lot of people surviving from battle and live longer. And today, we have a lot of old people living because of our modern medicine. And adult day care program comes into that void where all this older population are living and thriving, and we need to help them do something to be able to continue being a productive member of society. So as as long as the program is very structured, um, closely following API process, there's a study that shows it have a good impact. So the activity analysis, I'll go through it real quick. The activity analysis is called Smell from the Past. Basically, you got a small group, which is 12 or less, is 30 to an hour in recreation room. Equipment is essential oil, electric oil heater, Bluetooth speaker, phone, group, activity room, chairs and tables. So basically, you light up this essential oil and play some music and ask them to kind of describe what they're remembering, what they're feeling, and what kind of memory does this activity brings them to. And it will decrease fatigue. It will improve concentration. Uh, it'll improve the olfactory, hearing, and memory connection. It'll promote the utilization of other senses in lieu of vision. So overall, they got to relax and learn how to better use their other uh, sensory. So next page will be the reference, and this all the reference that I gather. This is all the information where I source it from. Feel free to check it out. And again, this is Kevin, and yeah, thank you so much.